Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. We are here for episode 55 of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode in what could be the last season. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't figured it all out, but I do have school coming up, starting up in the next couple of weeks, so the videos will start to slow down a little bit from 3 videos a week to 1 or so probably. So we will see if we can get through this season. I'm not sure how many more we're going to be doing after this, if we do any, but I will finish off the series in the playoffs at the very least. So if we finish this one fast enough, maybe we'll go into the playoffs and get that done, and maybe start another season as well. But all that being said, before NHL 25 comes out. But all that being said, let's first of all, I simulated through the preseason, and just something that I do want to acknowledge real quick is Dane Matheson is having a fantastic preseason. He's an 86 overall. He's playing with Matt Svensson. He's got 7 goals, 3 assists. So after a really disappointing playoff run, hopefully he can really get started and get moving a little bit better there in the regular season for next year. Chubarov didn't give me anything, but in goal we had a really promising preseason for goaltenders as well. Mikhail Pudonov's with a .920 save percentage, and Thomas Lander did get a shutout in there, but Thomas Lander probably going to be going away in this episode, because let's get to the comments from the last one, where we see a comment from Alexander, who has some very interesting and out-of-the-box trade suggestions, I may say. I don't know if I entirely agree with one of them in particular, but we will definitely take a look at it and have the conversation. So, pro suggestions. With Chubarov's unexpectedly growing to 81, the need for defense is gone. In fact, he should play on the second pair ahead of Power to balance out each unit. So I've gone ahead and done that, as you guys can see. Number 2, Elliot Patrick drops 3 overall after career year and a stellar playoff run. Yeah, I don't understand it. Same thing with Schultz. No good young defenseman in sight around the league, and even Rocky Bomick fell off after a career year in New Jersey. Utter nonsense from EA, if you ask me, and I agree with that. It's total malarkey, right? That these guys are having career years and dropping overall. I don't understand it. And it's not because of their age either, because they're all both in their prime, like 27, 28 years old, so it's wild. So I'm going to put these 2 trades in conjunction with each other here. So Alex wants us to trade Solomon Pyatt for Howard Quenneville, because Arizona hadn't signed him yet, and he was just kind of wasting away on this Arizona team. But after simulating through the preseason, they actually did sign Howard Quenneville to a 1-year, $5 million deal. So these are what the values would look like for Solomon Pyatt, for Howard Quenneville. I think we could get it done. It would give Arizona a bit of a worse player, but better potential. We would get the bit of a better overall player, but slightly worse potential. But then that doesn't even really matter, because then Alex wants to flip. I'll just throw Solomon Pyatt in the trade because their values look pretty similar. I think this would probably go through. But I'll throw Solomon Pyatt in the trade, and the next player that we'd be saying goodbye to is Matt Svensson here. He doesn't have a lot of value, but Alex wants us to trade him to the San Jose Sharks. They want both players, and we would be picking up a big time piece here. Now, the guy has a lot of trade value. He's also, one of their best players on their team, but San Jose, who has a plethora of centers, they've got Jordan Gavin, Cam Arson, Jordan Mackey, I think, Jermaine Mackey, sorry, and then Atu Ratu. These 2 guys, super young. Ratu's even, he's still a great player at 33, still basically in his physical prime. And then Jordan Gavin up here is kind of like the middleman. So Alex wants us to pick up Jordan Gavin. Now, San Jose would be over the league salary, so that's going to make it a bit tricky. I'm not going to lie to you. But the other reason I don't really love Jordan Gavin that much, he has amazing stats, obviously, incredible stats, huge playmaker, but he has worse numbers than Matt Svensson, and like he has great players around him. So I don't really know how much I trust his simulation. Less than a point per game the last 2 seasons. He did have 85 and 82 a couple of years ago, but for most of his career he's been like a 60-point guy. It's not exactly what I'm looking for on the roster, I don't think. He's an amazing playmaker. Look at those puck skills, 99 passing, so I think he would do well on the team for sure. But Matt Svensson is also great for our team. 96 passing is pretty similar to what Jordan Gavin did. He also has great defense like Jordan Gavin. He has great senses, 5-star senses. His shooting's a bit worse than Gavin. His skating is also a bit worse, but his physical is better. I don't know if this trade makes that much sense for us to do. It feels like we're kind of just moving pieces because we want to make a move, and that's okay, but I think Jordan Gavin might not be the guy for us, if that makes any sense. We're not sure what lines he fits, but it's mostly just the simulation numbers that are kind of scaring me off. I know he's not playing with a guy like Elliot Patrick or a guy like a guy like Dane Matheson or even Solomon or even sorry Pete Lombardi. But let's take a look at who their centers are, or sorry, who their forwards are, to see who he's playing with, because he's the best player on the team. Maybe he's probably playing with Ryan Rubrick, who's a sniper, right? He's a sniper, but he has bad shooting. So again, that's probably why he's not getting as many points. Cam Arson, what is Cam Arson? He's a playmaker. I'm not sure if he's playing with him. So two playmakers maybe on the same line. Jermaine Mackey, he could be playing with, who's a 5-star shooting sniper. So that's pretty similar to a guy like Elliot Patrick, a little bit lower in the shooting categories, but great offense awareness, great shot. If he's playing with Jermaine Mackey and he's putting up like 60 points per season, I'm kind of worried about it. Aatu Räty, on the other hand, like if he's playing with Aatu Räty and getting those numbers, okay, that kind of makes sense, because Räty is not a huge offensive force. At least I don't think so. Let me see. I mean, yeah, Räty did have a really good season last year, actually 80 points last year, but he really hasn't been that much of a point getter for the Sharks. What about Jermaine Mackey? I just want to take it. Yeah, Jermaine Mackey had an 89 points last year, so he's getting a lot of points, playing 17 minutes a night. How many was, I'm sure that Jordan Gavin was on their first line, and yes, he was playing 22 minutes a night. So who was his line? It was him, probably Ryan Rubrick, who was not fantastic, and no, it wasn't Cam Arson, so they had somebody else on their line also. So Jordan Gavin and Ryan Rubrick are like the duo on the first line, which kind of makes sense as to why Gavin hasn't been playing amazing, but his trade value is also really high. I think I would probably have to add a first to this deal to get it done, and they would have to give me some bad contract back, because I'm not retaining salary on either of those guys. So what's like a really bad contract they have on the team? Like these guys both have value though, you know what I'm saying? Maybe this guy, Binnerell, but they're still over, so it needs to be a bit higher than 1.2 mil. Both of these two guys here, Dylan Holloway and Seaman Tyval, or however you say his name, they both kind of have value. I don't want to bring on Oscar Olofsson for 3 mil for 2 years. So maybe we take a pause on Jordan Gavin, and then there's another big deal that that Alex wanted me to look at. They're in our division, which is always a bit scary, but here's the reasoning for it. Yeah, and this is just really tough, because if we look at the guy that we want to trade it for, Alexei Kinnis here has no value whatsoever. He was a medium top 6 pick. He was like a second round pick, I think. Sorry, I clicked the wrong guy. But Alexei Kinnis, he was a second round pick, 33rd overall. He's not grown whatsoever. He has no value, so it's not going to work for him. But maybe somebody like a Vishnevsky, and then a first or something like this. This is why Alex wants the deal. Now, if we look at as things stand in Dallas, they do have 4 really strong left wingers, which is similar to the San Jose situation here. They have Nattinen, Afanasenkov, Murray, both super strong, and then Robertson. They have an incredible left side for the winger position. And on top of that, Nattinen, Afanasenkov, and Murray, they're all medium elite guys, so they want to be getting some really big time, especially when they're paying them $12 million down here for 7 years, 14 mil for the next year for Nattinen. They really want to be playing these guys to see the most growth possible out of them. And so with this, Robertson's definitely a Dallas Stars legend in this universe, but everybody's time in the sun comes up every once in a while, right? So Robertson, an incredible player, 5-star shooter, all this stuff, not very physical, but 6'3", big body. Again, this is somebody that we could look at. I think, and he's somebody who really produces well, 90 points the last 3 years, despite getting older. So he's somebody who produces incredibly well. I think this is maybe something that we look at the deadline, because he does have 1 year left on his deal. See where Dallas is, see how they're using him. If they're using him on their third line or their first or second line or whatever. If they're using him on the second or first, maybe we make the trade because they want to be giving these medium elite prospects a bit more of a chance. If they're using him maybe on the third or fourth line, I think then maybe we let them keep him, kind of a thing, but I'm not entirely sure about that trade. That is one that I kind of like a little bit more, just because it makes a bit more sense in my opinion, because Jordan Gavin is not somebody that I'm that interested in, but Robertson definitely, I definitely am. Now, one trade that I'm more than happy with making is this Nico Tukio and Canzanello trade over to the New York Rangers for a first-round pick. Now, first of all, they're an Eastern Conference team, so hopefully Nico Tukio and Canzanello won't come back to haunt us, but Canzanello's a young goalie. He's like 23 or so. Yeah, 79 overall potential, so or with medium elite potential, so they could really use a guy like him. Now, with their goalie department as well, they could, they really need a good goalie, and Canzanello's not exactly the potential, or sorry, the overall that they need, but he has great potential. Hopefully they'll play him in the NHL. I'm not sure if they will, but they do have, is this Torsten? This is our boy Torsten Gunderson. Oh my gosh, he's over here in the Rangers affiliation, so good for him, I guess. But yeah, so we're gonna give them Canzanello for the first. I mean, Canzanello would probably be worth a first round pick anyways. He has medium elite potential, but of course EA's trade value system makes no sense. This guy could grow to be like an 85, 86 overall goalie, and he's not going to equate to a first round pick. And then Nico Tukio, a low elite guy, he really just doesn't have a spot on the team anymore, and his performance in the playoffs was so atrocious. Give me 6 assists and nothing else in the playoffs. Also, yeah, it was really bad, man. It was really bad. And his regular season performance was a bit of a drop from his first season as well. So I think this trade makes sense for both teams. We want to get rid of both of these guys. Not Canzanello, but we're just getting rid of him for organizational sake, because we do have 2 medium elite goalies in the system that are both pretty much ready. So that's why we have to get rid of Canzanello. And then Nico Tukio, we just have guys that are filling his role a little bit better for right now. So I would be very happy if this goes through. But let me see. I don't know if it will, if New York will accept this, although in the real world, this would go through super easy, no problems. But let's see what they're thinking here in New York. They will reject this. The value is not up to snuff at all. Of course it's not. Okay, so let me give them another prospect here. Okay, we're going to go with this guy, Arcobello. Arcobello is a centerman. Jamie Arcobello, center sniper, who really hasn't grown that much. We did draft him in the 7th round. He's up to a 66 overall, which is not bad at all, actually. He's getting pretty decent growth. But at 20 years old, 66, he could be something, maybe like a third liner at the very most, probably. But he's not growing too much. What does his stats look like in his season? I mean, he did have 106 points. Give the guy some growth, EA. Come on. He only has 1 goal in 7 games played this year, unfortunately. But 106-point season in the USA Development Center. That's pretty good. What do you say to it, New York? They will still reject it. Not up to snuff at all. Okay, let me throw somebody else in there. Okay, we're going to try Benjamin Wild this time. Benjamin Wild is a defensive defenseman. Yeah, he's just basically a prototypical defensive defenseman. He could play NHL time if he learned how to skate. But unfortunately, his power skating lessons as a kid didn't really come in handy. But his defensive awareness, shot blocking, and stick checking, all in the 80s, which is nice to see. But I don't really think this guy's going to grow too much more. 73 overall at 20 years old with a low elite potential. He could get there to like 78, 79, 80 maybe, but he's not going to be, like an 88 overall defenseman, anything like that. So what do you say, New York? All of this just for a first round pick. This is how hard it is to get picks in this game. What do you say? Still rejected. Can I give you a third as well? Because this is getting a little crazy. First round picks are just wild, man. What do we have? We have a first, a second, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and 2 sevenths. So can I give you one of our sevenths and like a fourth next year or something like that? Would that make it go through? Maybe let's try just with the 7th. Hang on, let's do just the 7th. Rejected. Okay, let's do a fourth next year as well. What do you say to it, baby? What do you say? They still reject it. What the heck, bro? Okay, hang on. Okay, guys, here's the new deal. We're gonna go Canzanello and Tukio to Detroit. They're considered a conservative buyer, so hopefully their trade value for their first round pick isn't as high as the other teams that we've went to. We need to get a goalie from them so that the goalie slots work. And then Wild, what do you say, Detroit? Rejected. You're quite far off based on value. This is crazy, man. I'm giving them 2 elite prospects that have decent value, and I can't. This is crazy, dude. The first round picks are a diamond, man. It's wild. Accepted. Okay, there you go, Detroit. Oh my god. So we send them over to Detroit. I didn't show you guys why it makes sense, but let me do that real quick. So if you look at the Detroit lines, we'll take a look at their goalies. Now, Canzanello immediately slots in as their backup goalie and potential starter at the end of this season if he gets really good growth. They do have one goalie, so he definitely becomes their bona fide backup goalie with the potential to grow much higher. And then for the forwards, it wasn't really as good of a fit, but they did want Nico Tukio, so he becomes like their 7th or 8th best forward in there. And he's on a really good deal for this year, so we'll see if they can extend him or not. But yeah, man, it took way too long to find a first round pick for those two guys. It should have been immediate. Anybody would want 2 medium elite prospects, basically 2 A-rated prospects for a first round pick is kind of crazy. But EA is gonna EA, right? So it is what it is, I guess. Okay, so if we look at Columbus's goalie situation, I want to take Simon from them and send him to a team that doesn't have medium elite prospects in the system that could play on the NHL, like this guy Grigorenko right here, who could definitely play NHL time this year. He's listed as a backup goalie as well, and they have this medium elite Reed Donald, so I don't want Simon picking up any really that many games from any of those two guys. So I'm gonna make this trade. We're gonna give them a low elite prospect for it. Torsten Johansson, he is 21 though, and he's only 68 overall, so he probably won't become anything. But it's really a move that's going to help out Columbus way more than it hurts them. This guy could be an 80 overall player, and a guy like Simon could, easily stunt their goalie's growth. So by taking him out of the roster, they're going to be able to play their goalies grow their overall, while also getting a potential prospect that could become an 80 overall prospect and make an impact on their team. So will they give me a pick because of it? Definitely they will not. Okay, what about a 7th round pick? I'll take that. And they don't even have a 7th up for grabs this next year, so I'll ask for the 7th round pick this year because they don't have the one up for grabs, and they will accept that offer. Okay, cool. Now I got to flip Simon to another team, and that needs a goalie, so let me do that. Okay, boys, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to trade him over to St. Louis. The reason is, if we look at their goaltenders here, they have one goalie, Jesper Blomqvist, but then after this, they have absolutely nothing, and we do not want Griffin Smabby playing NHL time as a 23-year-old, 73 overall medium elite goalie, because that's going to stunt his growth. He's going to get lit up in the NHL, so we want him to play AHL time. We're going to allow that to happen by giving them another backup goalie in Simon and see what they say to it. They'll reject that. So I can only get a 7th round pick for him. This is crazy, man. This is so crazy. Okay, so I'll take St. Louis' 7th round pick next year. They will accept that. And now I don't have to worry about this big headache, bro. Okay, boys, next trade coming up is going to be Thomas Lander going to the Carolina Hurricanes. Lander's a great goalie, but he just doesn't have the potential to grow more. If things really struggle, maybe we can come back and get a 7th round or trade a 7th round pick back for Thomas Lander, because he's an amazing goalie. 952 save percentage with us, 917, 914 as a backup. One of the best backups in the league for sure. So it hurts my heart to let him go, but there's really no other option. Can I even get a 7th for him? Rejected. Oh my God, that's crazy, man. So what do I trade him for? A bag of pucks? Like, what have you got for me? You have nobody on the block. I guess I just trade him for a worse goalie. Trade him for like one of these fringe starters and throw them in the AHL or something. I guess it's really the only thing I can do. Okay, let's take this guy, a medium top 6 defenseman, but he's probably not going to become anything. But he's only 18, so maybe he has some potential. What do you say? You'll reject that? Wow. Oh my God. So if you want to trade a goalie, you just can't trade goalies in this game. If you want to trade one, can I get this guy? This guy's no value. Accepted. Okay, sure, whatever. We'll see Lander probably a little bit later. But let me go and edit these NHL lines, get Olli Kuta up here, and we'll get into some simulation finally. Okay, so Olli Kuta's in there in the net, which is nice to see. I have to do the power play and the penalty kill lines, but I will be right back with you guys, I promise. Okay, one quick thing. If we look at the expiring deals, Dane Matheson wants a boatload of money. He wants $12 million for 8 years. Sorry, he wants 14 mil. But we can get him in the 12-ish range for 4 years. Using the 85% trick, this gets him down to 4 years at 10.175 or so. So bear that in mind for now. Brennan Meach also wants a bunch of money, which I don't understand whatsoever. Maybe we do a 3-year bridge type thing with him, because for 8 years he wants like $7.5 million. Seems a little crazy to me. Owen Power does want to come back with us. Maybe we just kind of do 1-year things, but he still wants a ton of money. What are you doing to me, Owen? And then Pavel Chubarev, okay, that's very nice for Pavel Chubarev for the next 2 years. He only wants 2.8 mil. So I think I kind of want to do that right now, because once we get to 3, 4, 5 years, it starts to get a little bit wild for an 81 overall guy. So 2 years, 2.8 mil. So 2 years, 2.4 mil would be my offer. 2 years, 2.425 mil. I know it's only for 2 years, but I think in 2 years he's not going to be asking for more than $5.925 million. He's going to be asking around this $4.5-5 million range is probably what he's going to be asking for anyways. So if we can get him for cheaper for 2 years and then sign him to the same thing that he wants now, basically for 4 years, but we sign him for like a 5-year deal when he's like 24 or something, I think that's going to be totally fine. Oh my gosh, I almost what the heck, bro? Okay, that was almost very bad. Yeah, I don't see this backfiring on me really at all. So what do you say to it? Pavel Chubarev, 2 years, $2.425 million. We'll send that out. And then Boris Nikulin, hopefully a same type of contract. No, he wants look at this, man. You're 81 overall, bro. You're okay, I'm just going to wait on him. That's craziness. Okay, and now that I've been recording for about 40 minutes, hopefully I've cut it down to like 10 or 15 minutes. That would be my hope for you guys. But yeah, I've been recording for a ton of time. We can finally get this one started. We swept out Dallas in one of our round 2, I think, last year. All these guys signing on to the AHL team. I told you I was going to do it, boys. We got Thomas Ekman-Larsson back on the roster as well in the free agency. He's just a 78 overall guy. Maybe he can come up and play some time for us if he has to. Pavel Chubarev is on board, I think, is what that said. I was just spamming through. Let me take a quick look. And yes, Pavel Chubarev is signed on for the next 3 years now, so that's nice. Okay, first game of the season up against Dallas. It's the home opener. Let me see if I remember how to do this, because oh my goodness, I've been sitting here and talking for about 45 minutes now. So let's get this show on the road. First game in Winnipeg. We've got some new guys on the roster, Darren Gomez, boys like that. So let's see if we can't impress to start things off with the first period. That's going to be 1-0 to Dallas as they score with 22 seconds left on Mikhail Punanov's, another new addition to the roster. Let's find some offense, boys. We swept these guys in the playoffs last year, so let's do it again. Also, we get to scout out Jason Robertson a little bit for the trade deadline deal that we might be doing with these guys. Second period now. That's going to be 3-0 to Dallas. Okay, this guy has no picture. Grushnikov has no picture. I've been playing this game for like 10 months and I'm still finding new glitches every day. It's crazy. 3-0, not a great start to the season. Can we come back in the third period here? We are shooting a lot. We have a lot of shots on net, but their goalie is just robbing us left, right, and center. Power play opportunity for us goes nowhere. That's unfortunate. And wow, looks like it's a rough debut for the Jets, man. On home ice, we get shut out with 39 saves for Novoselicev. Crazy. Okay, fair enough. You don't like to see that whatsoever, but we'll bounce back. We will bounce back for sure. And I just noticed that Jesus Parker is actually not in the AHL, so I have to throw him down there. I have to change all the AHL lines. Oh my god, I wish there was a better way to do this. Okay, I'm back. Let's get to some simulation now. You guys want to see simulation? I desperately want to simulate because, oh my gosh, it's been a rough one. I'm not gonna lie. Here we go. Up against the Rangers, we have a bit of an Eastern Conference trip. That's a loss, and now Boston. That is a 5-2 win. Okay, not a great start to the year, but we'll find it. We'll find our footing here. We will find our footing. We'll bounce back. Florida now. Eric Dowd. Oh my God, yay. Okay, so we have a new face in here. Thomas Ekman-Larsson is coming back. I guess an old face, kind of. He was drafted in that 3rd round in 2026 by us. Look at his skating category. He's got good physical as well for someone who's 5'10". And he's got pretty good defense, so hopefully he can lock down. This 4th line has been doing great, though. Jude Schultz, 2 points, +3, only playing 6 minutes a night. Colby Stoll, 3 points, +7, or sorry, 3 points, +4, only playing 7 minutes a night. And then Darren Gomez was down on that 4th line too, +4, 1 assist, playing 10 minutes a night. This 3rd line has been really struggling with Shane Pinto on it and Michael Poyar, which is unfortunate. And Brennan Meach as well, he was struggling as well, -3. The 2nd line was doing great things. Dane Matson has 5 points in 4 games. Matt Svensson has 4 points in 4 games. But the 1st line's really letting me down here. Elliot Patrick, -3, only 2 points. Pete Lombardi, -3, only 3 points. What about on defense? What do we have? Aiden Stempniak, 3 points, good. Will Hoffman, 2 points, okay. Pavel Chubarev doing great things, +4. Corbin Corbin Mills is great, but that third line is really disappointing me on defense. Okay, and then goaltending, Mikhail Punanov's horrible stats. Let's give Oli Kuta a game here and see if he can maybe play a little bit better for us. Let's stop the sim. 5-2 win, 6-2 win. That's a 3-game winning streak. We are now in a wild card spot. Let's keep it rolling here, boys. Up against the Dallas Stars. That's a 5-4 shootout loss. So we are now 0-2 against Dallas here. Eric Dowd is fully back. Let me get him back into the lineup. Okay, boys, and you know how I just said the first line was really disappointing me? They're -3. Now they're +6, +7, and +14 for Salman Pyatt. Salman Pyatt, what the heck? He's 13 points in 7 games. I got to keep him on the first line. I have to. Brendan Meach is doing whatever. He's doing okay. Dean Matheson, 6 points. Matheson still 4 assists only. But that first line's really tearing it up. That's crazy to see. Thomas Ekman-Larsson has not been playing well. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw Eric Dowd onto that second line. Salman Pyatt, this first line is staying how it is because they are dominating up there. Let's do it, boys. Okay, let me stop the sim. That glitch has been in the game since day 1, and EA, of course, has not solved it. We have a bit of a doubleheader here up against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Interesting. Let's stop at the Edmonton game so I can get my scouting done. Pittsburgh, that's going to be a 6-5 loss, unfortunate, followed by a 3-2 loss. So Pittsburgh gets the better of us in both of those games. Now LA, that's a 3-1 win. And we are having a really tough season, 5-4-1, going up against the 5-6-2 Edmonton Oilers. I am not liking the start of this whatsoever here. First period, that's going to be a 1-0 goal. It's Nabokov scoring on Oli Kuta, and right now I really wish that I had Thomas Lander back there. Second period now, 4-2 for Edmonton. Eric Dowd scores on the power play. Will Hoffman scores even strength, but it's just not enough because they are just really finding Oli Kuta's made of Swiss cheese back there. I don't know, man. He's got a lot of holes, and that's not what you want in a goaltender. Oh my gosh, Connor Geekie with another one. And Kuta has allowed 5 goals on 18 shots, 6 goals on 19 shots as Connor Geekie gets his hat-trick, I believe. If we go into the second period, yeah, he has a hat-trick. Okay, let's just finish this one off. That's a rough, oh my god, 8-3. That's a horrible game. And we're faltering here big time, boys. We are faltering big time. Let me do the scouting, and then we'll regroup. Okay, boys, so I think the third line's really killing me. We look at the first line. They're now +7, +7, +15 for Salman Pyatt. He's our leading point scorer. I don't know why this guy's simulating so well, but I don't want to trade him now. Matt Svensson, 9 points. Dane Matheson, only 8 points. He's really fallen off. Eric Dowd here, 5 points in 8 games. So it's not bad, but -5 is pretty rough. He was on that struggling first line, though, so let's keep that in mind. Brendan Meach on the third line, -6 on the third line. Shane Pinto, -2. It's very unlike Shane Pinto. And then I've thrown Darren Gomez onto the third line instead of Michael Poyar, who has no points. He's done nothing. He's a -4. I think he's a little bit out of his depth here for sure. And then the fourth line with Jude Schultz and Colby Stoll, they're okay, -1 and even. So let's hope that Darren Gomez on that third line can help them out a little bit more. It is now just a third line of straight two-way forwards, which is a little bit scary, but even having Michael Poyar up there, we haven't been playing better. So let's hope that these guys can get it done for me. And then on defense, everybody but the third pair. The third pair is really letting me down on defense, so I need those guys to come back stronger and really have a good couple of games here. We need to go on a winning streak like right now. I know it's still early in the season, but we need a winning streak right now, man. Because once you fall behind, it's really tough to come back. Ask the Sens every single year. And Jude Schultz has been injured. Oh my god. All I've been doing is micromanaging all the time, which I guess is what you get for playing GM mode. But holy smokes, just replace him for now. 6-3 win. Okay. We're on a bit of a 2-game winning streak here. Detroit and San Jose. Detroit, we get to see, who did we send to Detroit? No, I don't think we sent anybody to Detroit, but I think I was considering it, but then I didn't. 6-4 loss. San Jose, that's going to be, Jude Schultz is fully back. Let me just continue when we can see that's a 2-1 win. Okay, we're going on a bit of a streak here. We are 4 points from a wild card spot, but we do have games in hand against all the wild card teams. We've only played 15 games. The wild card teams have all played 19 games, so if we can keep winning, we have an opportunity. And there we go. Shane Pinto's now a +2. Brendan Meach is now a -2. And Darren Gomez is a +8. So this third line is much better than the third line that we had before. Colby Stoll is a 1. Thomas Ekman-Larsson, -1. He hasn't done anything too crazy for me. And then Michael Poyar in there at -2, but he does have a point now. So in those 4 games, he got an assist, which is cool to see. Eric Dowd still a -5, unfortunately. Does he have more than 5 points? He does. He has 9 points in 12 games. Okay, not the pace that he was on before, but I'll accept it. Matt Svensson is point per game. Dane Matheson only 11 points in 15 games. Bit unfortunate. Defensively, I'll give you guys a chance to look at it. Look at Aiden Stempniak +11, Will Hoffman +10, even the second line, Pavel Zhubarov +7, Corbin Mills +7, but then the third line, man, Owen Power -3, and Boris Nikulin -2. Unfortunate there. What about in goal? Oli Kuta, yikes, that's rough. Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. We don't have auto-rotate goalie on. Oh my god. Oh my god. So when I put Oli Kuta in there for that one game, it was actually 11 games, bro. Oh my gosh. Okay, Maxime Pudanovs is playing many games now. I'm going to have to remember about auto-rotate. Actually, I'm just going to throw it on right now because I know I'm going to forget. Oh, that's so stupid of me. Because for the playoffs, I was getting so angry that I had to keep going in and changing it. Oh my god, that's horrible. Okay, so auto-rotate goalie is now on. Oh, I feel so stupid because of that, man. That could have been so many games that we could have been winning instead. But Oli Kuta has played way more games than Mikhail Punanovs, which is not how it should be at all. We have an 86 overall goalie, and we're not even using him, man. Okay, let's jump in and watch this one against Arizona. They are 8-7-1. We are 8-6-1. Same division. We've got the same amount of points, so definitely an important game here. First period, that's going to be 1-0 for Arizona. Unfortunate. Second period now, 3-1 for Arizona. Oh my! And Howard Quenneville, of course, getting a power play goal on us. Third period, come on, boys. Let's come back here. I'm not happy that Mikhail Punanovs has allowed 3 on 18. It's not good, and we have 10 more shots than there's Aiden Stempniak with 1. Okay, now, dang it, William Eklund. Of course it's William Eklund, but Elliot Patrick answers right back. Elliot Patrick is the honorary captain at times of this team, I must say. He's been the most clutch player I think maybe I've ever had in a simulation. There's Pete Lombardi to tie things up at 4. That's a huge one, and you know what, boys? Let's jump into it. All right, here we are in the Arizona, wait, where were they playing? Arizona State University, right? ASU? They were playing there, right? I think. Anyways, Pete Lombardi coming up the boards in front of 5,000 fans. Sends it over to Will Hoffman. William Hoffman. Now, one-time opportunity. There's Pete Lombardi. He's going to score and give us the overtime victory. The sound there was very much behind, but we will take that victory. A huge one for the morale of the team. We outshot them a ton, and we had to go to overtime, which is unfortunate, but that win against the division rival, that's really going to make us feel a bit better about our season so far, and hopefully we can continue this pace, playing with both of our goalies in the net now instead of just playing our backup. So let's see, a good year for rookies, that's nice to see. 6-4 loss to Colorado. Now Montreal, that's going to be a 5-1 win followed by a 5-4 win. And hang on, don't call it a comeback yet, but we're working here. We are working. We have 1 game in hand over the Coyotes, and they are up 1 point against us in the wild card spot. And then against the Oilers, we have 5 games in hand, and we are only behind by 3 points. So let's keep winning here, boys. Oh, the Devils are an amazing team. I think, did I send the Devils Thomas Lander? Or was that, I don't even remember, man. It's been that long that I don't even remember where I sent my goalies. Maybe is Simon in New Jersey? I don't know, but we can go see Rocky Bomek. Let's have a blast with Rocky Bomek over here. Boris Nikulin has been injured, not like he's been helping me anyways. Let's just replace him for now, man. I don't know. Let's just replace him. And Pavel Zhubarov was injured, but now he's fully back. 5-1 victory against the Detroit Red Wings. That's a Stanley Cup final rematch, of course. And they're not even going to make the playoffs this year. That's typical. The Devils are one of the best teams in the league. The second best team in the league are the New Jersey Devils. So this is a tough game, but we get to see our old friend Rocky and potentially our old goalie, although I'm not entirely sure if we sent him here. First period, that's going to be 1-0. It's Jack Hughes scoring on Mikhail Punanovs. Shot 16-6 in favor of the Devils. Let's wake up here, boys, in the second period. Second period now, 3-1. Unfortunate. Our simulation has been horrible. Alexei Protas, former Winnipeg Jets forward. Elliot Patrick gets us within 1, but then O'Sullivan scores another one on Punanovs, and we can't score to save our lives in the slow sim, which is not a good sign because that's how we do the playoff videos, of course. So having a team that can't win in the slow sim, that's a bit of a problem. It kind of feels like there's like 3 seasons almost, to this hockey, and not the 3 seasons that Wayne Gretzky was talking about. We've got We've got the calendar sim, of course. Then we've got the slow sim when I skip the periods, and then we've got the slow sim when I watch the periods, and they all seem to simulate a little bit differently. That's a bad loss, a 4-1 loss to the Devils. We need a winning streak, and we need one right now. So we're 1 point behind the Coyotes for our divisional wild card spot. I guess it's not a divisional spot if it's a wild card, but we're 1 point behind the wild card position. We need wins desperately here. That's a 4-2 win against Columbus. An AHL player has gone down with an injury. We'll decline this trade. And now Toronto, Callum Ritchie is fully healed. Okay, sure, he's in the AHL, no problem. 7-6 win against Toronto. But unfortunately, the Coyotes keep winning also, and that is not a good sign here. So we're winning games. We don't have a bad record at all, actually. 14-9 is not horrible, but we're just the guys in front of us are also winning, and that's what happens when you fall behind. When you fall behind on the season, you're really like, if you lose games like this, now we have the same games played as Arizona and we're 2 points behind. You need to win, man. You need to win every game. It's really unfortunate here. So Colorado, where is Colorado? They are behind us, but they're only 1 point behind us. So that's a big game right there. And we're in December. Okay, so I can keep going a couple more weeks here until January. Colorado, that's a loss. Like, what are we doing out there, man? We need wins. We need wins, and we need them right now. So we're 2 games behind the Flames, and we're only 1 point back of them. But we're also only 1 point back of the Coyotes. So they lost games, and we couldn't capitalize, which is not a good sign. Let's go to who's a good team. We've seen Arizona today. Let's go watch the San Jose Sharks, because we're going to be scouting out Jordan Gavin over there. There's a win against Toronto. Good. There's a loss, but then followed up by a win. Okay. I can accept that. Anaheim, give me a win. There's a win. Nice. Arizona, give me a win. Win. Good. Boris Nikulin is fully back. We're continuing the sim. You guys know my superstitions. That's another win. Okay, let's go here, boys. And now all of a sudden we are the second best team in our division. Sometimes sometimes you gotta simulate a lot. Sometimes you simulate barely at all. I don't understand it, man. 20-11-2 after a huge mid-December month. That's 4 in a row now. Let's make it 5 here up against the San Jose Sharks. We get to take a look at Jordan Gavin and the crew here. So let's see. Let's get a victory. Let's get a victory. I'm sick and tired of losing in the slow sim. Let's get a victory here. First period, 1-0 for us. It's Matt Svensson scoring on Hornqvist. Good job. They also have 17 shots, no goals. Second period now, 4-2 for us. Sam Dickinson and Dylan Holloway. Dylan Holloway, former Winnipeg Jet. Sam Dickinson, we've seen him in the playoffs before. And then Pete Lombardi, Matt Svensson, and Will Hoffman all score to give us a 4-2 lead, up by 2 going into the third period. This is why we got the new coaches, okay? We got the new goalie coach, we got the new defensive coach, and we got them so that we can stop letting 2-goal deficits be our downfall. And yes, I think I said that right. Or when we have a 2-goal lead, we always lose, okay? I'm going into the third period. So this is why we got these guys. Jude Schultz gets me the 5th goal of the game, and that is promising. We had a lead in the third period. We didn't falter at all. We didn't allow them to come back to within 1. We just shut them down, and we win the game like you should when you're up by 2. And Punanovs has a huge one, 40 saves and 952 save percentage. Amazing game from Mikhail Punanovs. All right, so let's keep it rolling here. St. Louis, they're a strong team. Minnesota is a strong team, and Montreal is also a strong team. So we've had the next 3 games. If I could get 2 wins, that would be nice, but they're 3 good teams. 5-1 loss. Okay, let's stop the sim. Let's stop the sim. Man, just stop the sim when I tell you to, EA. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not call it a comeback just yet, but there's a certain player on this team who has been disappointing, very disappointing over the last couple of seasons, because one of his first seasons was a 90-point season, a 99-point season. This guy I thought he was going to be the next big thing, scoring 100 points every year, and he wasn't. He fell off, a mountain, I would say. He really fell off a lot. But Matt Svensson on the second line, a position he has not played. I don't know if he's played the left wing second line once in his entire career in the NHL, but he has 46 points in 36 games. I don't know what pace that is, but that is ridiculous. 17. He's a plus 17. Dane Matheson has 38 points, and Eric Dowd has, I think, 34 points in 33 games. The second line is all above point per game. The first line, Solomon Pyatt, this guy out of nowhere. Who even is this guy? He had 44 points last year. This year he already has 42. Out of nowhere. He's a plus 25. and he has 42 points in 36 games. Pete Lombardi, plus 18. He's got, what is that, 44 points in 36 games, 25 goals. And Elliot Patrick has 41 points in 36 games, plus 19. The first line and the second line are tearing it up. But the third line and the fourth line, Brennan Meach now down to a -7, Shane Pinto -6, Darren Gomez -1. So Darren Gomez, I'm okay with keeping him on the third line, but these two guys, they've been very disappointing for me. Now, fourth line, Colby Stoll -7, Jude Schultz -7, Michael Poyar -8. The bottom six is really rough. And so because of it, I think I'm going to get Jude Schultz out of here. We're going to give Thomas Ekman-Larsson some games, see if he can't help us out a little bit, I would say, on the fourth line. Although Colby Stoll has been a great player for us for sure. I don't know. We gotta make some sort of change. Can we go maybe Jude Schultz? Like Jude Schultz, it's so disappointing, Jude Schultz, because he was an 82 overall. He had a career year, and then he drops 3 overall. Really, he should be an 82 on that fourth line or even third line. And then defensively, what are we looking at? Stempniak plus 18, Will Hoffman plus 18, Pavel Chubarov plus 11, Corbin Mills plus 13, Owen Powers a plus 1, and Boris Nikulin a -2. Okay. Not bad, but man, we're losing games because of our bottom six, and I hate seeing that. I absolutely despise seeing that. So let's get some wins here. The division is incredibly tight, and we've got Eric Dowd back in the lineup. Actually, no, Eric Dowd's been in the lineup for a while. We've got Boris Nikulin back in the lineup, sorry. Let's go I need one win against these 3 tough teams. We can't be seen as just a team that only beats the bottom teams. We've got to be able to compete with the top as well. Up against the Montreal Canadiens, that's a big game for us. I know it's an Eastern Conference team, but getting a win there is huge. And then we lose to the 13-24-2 Vegas Golden Knights. Are you kidding me, boys? Okay, we have 46 points. Below us is 45 points. 44 points is the worst wild card. This is a big game against Colorado, and these are 2 huge games against the Nashville Predators as well. Actually, no, the Preds are a bad team, so they're actually not huge games. But we will end the video on this last game up against the Preds. Colorado's a 7-1 victory. That's a big one. And then we lose to the worst team in our division. Of course we do. Jeez Louise, man. Okay, Nashville. This is game 41 of the season. And we had a really good December, followed it up by a pretty mediocre January, although Will Hoffman's going to start this one off strong. First period ends 2-1 in our favor. Pete Lombardi scores on the power play as well. UC Velimaki scores on Olli Kuta to make it a 1-goal game. Second period now, that's going to be 4-1 for us. Pete Lombardi with his second, Will Hoffman with his second, and these two guys are tearing up the Nashville Predators. I love seeing that. Cody Glass gets one on Olli Kuta, but then Elliot Patrick answers right back. That first line doing their thing. Aiden Kuminski now. Of course it's Aiden Kuminski. It always is, man. I hate this guy. We've seen him a lot of times in the playoffs, and he always scores like a madman against us, but I don't think it's going to matter too much, hopefully. Again, the coaches coming in clutch, and that's going to be a 6-3 victory. Oh, rhymer. I'm rhyming out here. Pete Lombardi. Is that a hat trick for Pete Lombardi also? That's 2. That's 3 goals for Pete Lombardi. That's a hat trick in my books. 1, 2, 3. I like to see that. 4 points for Pete Lombardi. Will Hoffman with 2. Elliot Patrick with 2. Man, our top guys are just crazy, man. They're so insane. We've had an unlikely hero in Solomon Pyatt, but the top 3, they are so insane. They are... Pete Lombardi's on pace for an 100-point season, and we haven't had that since Cole Perfetti, I think. Looking around the entire league, we will see ourselves in 8th position, which is good. Anaheim is 1st. They seem to always simulate so well, man. They simulate so well. Our goals for per game is 4.29 goals for per game, the best in the league by quite a margin as well, by about a third of a goal. So that's amazing. Likely, that's because our power play is doing so well. Goals against is rough, though, 3.66. But maybe that's because we were, we had our backup goalie in for 11 straight games. Maybe that has something to do with it. Power play goals now, 22% power play. Okay, so we're actually dominating even strength. Power play is not crazy. We're like top 10 in the league, but it's not the best for sure. What about our penalty kill now? Penalty kill is 77%. It's been much worse. We're in the bottom 10, I think. Yeah, I would say probably in the bottom 10 or so. But it's not a horrible power play like it has been in the past. We are 9-1 at home. We suck at home. Compare that to like a couple of years ago when we were like, I don't know, we were like 35-6 at home or something crazy like that. Last 10 were 6-4-0, which is okay. Okay, we're doing okay. We're doing quite decently, pretty average. Who's the worst teams in the league? Philadelphia is the worst, followed by Vegas, who of course destroyed us. Washington, Nashville, Edmonton, Florida, Chicago, and Ottawa down here as well. So the team who won the cup 2 years ago, they are one of the worst teams in the league. Let's sort this sucker by the best teams. Let's just go down the list and see who's in a playoff position. Pittsburgh's in a playoff position. Detroit is in a wild card spot, so the defending Cup champs in a bit of trouble, but they're there. Seattle is here. Any bad teams that are making in the playoffs because of the way that the schedule works? Doesn't look like it. Dallas is not in the playoff position, so getting a guy like Jason Robertson would make sense, not only for us, but maybe for Dallas as well. He's on the last year of his deal. He's an older guy, and they're not in a playoff position, so that kind of makes sense. Who else here? San Jose. Okay, kind of the same thing with Jordan Gavin. They're a really bad team, though. There's probably no way they make the playoffs. So maybe trading away, but I don't want to trade Solomon Pyatt. Maybe trading them a Brennan Meach, a first-round pick, and a Matt Svensson. Maybe that gets it done instead. But again, Matt Svensson's having a great season as well. So we can see when we take a look at our guys a little bit more. And then all these guys down here. Unfortunately, Chicago, even though they just picked up the first overall pick, they are not doing very well with their first overall pick and Connor Bedard on the team. Connor Bedard has been wasting away in Chicago. Oh my, I love these. I love these boys, man. These guys. Okay, hang on. Whoa, pause. I love this team. This team is incredible. Pete Lombardi, 52 and 41. He's on pace for 104. He's got 31 goals, on pace for 62 goals on the season. But look at this. Mats Svensson, the golden child has returned, man. 99 points in 2031-32. You know, in his second year, he scored 82. We thought, oh, we've got a lock. We've got an absolute lock. Then he scores 99. That reaffirms it. He scores 90 the next year. That's still amazing. We're like, oh, okay, whatever. 90 is still pretty good. But then 80 points, big drop off. 79 points. We're like, oh no, we can't expect this from him every year, can we? 81 points. He's like, we kind of see him as maybe a really strong second liner, something like that, but he can't break through. This year, 49 and 51, on pace for 98. 98, man. You just got to find the right line mates for him, I guess. That's incredible. I love Matt Svensson. Maybe we trade him for Jason Robertson, but I'm not entirely sure about it. Elliot Patrick is still doing his thing, rocking the floor. He's so reliable. He's an 86 overall, drop 3 overall, and it's not hurting him his growth, his production at all. He's on pace for 96, which would be a career year for him. So even though he dropped overall, I still know he can produce in the simulation. Solomon Pyatt out of nowhere. I don't even know who this guy is. We drafted him in the 3rd round. I don't even have any recollection of drafting this guy whatsoever. He comes into the team last year. He scores 44 points. Yeah, whatever. It's fine, but it's nothing crazy. This year, 43 points in only 41 games. He's on pace for 86. Crazy. Corbin Mills, what the heck is going on? Corbin Mills has 42? I was just looking at his plus minus. Corbin Mills is above a point per game playing with Pavel Chubarov. Is it the power play doing crazy things? He only has 8 power play goals. It's not that insane. He's 34 even strength goals. What is going on, bro? Dean Matheson with 39. That's a career year for him, probably. No way, is it? Yeah, it is. 78. On pace for 78. He's on pace for 36 goals. Eric Dowd, bit of a slowdown from Eric Dowd, but everybody else is picking it up like crazy, so I don't care. Will Hoffman and Aiden Stempniak, they are both on the first line, and they both have the same amount of points. That is pretty rare. Usually you have one defenseman doing better and the other defenseman kind of holding down the fort and things, but no, not on our team. Our first pair of defensemen, they both have 36 points, 72 points between them. Crazy. And then Brendan Meach here, 25 points minus 5. I'm okay with the 25 points. The minus 5 is a little bit scary. Shane Pinto now, okay, he's only a minus 2 now. He's been like a plus 4 in the last couple of games. Michael Poyar, 15 points minus 5. Owen Power, 12 points plus 3. Darren Gomez, he's a plus 3, Darren Gomez. So I'm okay with Darren Gomez staying on the 3rd line, but I kind of want other 3rd liners. Maybe Brendan Meach has to go to find a bona fide 3rd liner. Jude Schultz, disappointing, but I don't blame him. I blame EA for it. And then Thomas Ekman-Larsson is a 0 with 5 points. Okay, Pavel Chubarov has 5 points. He's a plus 13. That second pair defensively is doing great things. Boris Nikulin minus 2, but hey, that's okay. Somebody's got to be a minus. And then goaltending-wise, what are we looking? Oh, my God. That is not good, boys. That is not good. 883. Yikes. Oh my God. 876. So these guys are kind of sharing starts, but remember, a lot of that was because Oli Kuta had 11 starts in the regular at the start of the season. But this is rough. This is real rough. This is not ideal. Let's just skip over that. Okay, but we are going to probably have to look for a goalie at the deadline. We're probably going to have to find one at the deadline. Looking around the entire league now, of course, it's Leo Carlsson at the top, on pace for 120 points. Same thing with Zach Benson. Same thing with Clayton Keller at 38 years of age. He has 58 points in 40 games. Insane. Jaden Allman with 57, Alex Ranford, Roger McQueen. We're getting used to seeing some of these made-up names up here for sure. Pete Lombardi was in like the top 10 of goal scorers. Tim Stützle, love Tim Stützle up here. 36 games played, but 52 points. If he could do that in the real world, that would be nice this year, Timmy. If we could get a crazy season from you. Connor Bedard's only 31. He has 35 goals. 50 points, on pace for 100. He's getting no help. A 96 overall, 5-star everywhere probably, except 4-star physical, which is definitely not going to have a 4-star physical in the real world, I don't think, unless he gets angry. Yeah, pretty wild. Lionel Marsh, 84 overall sniper with 30 goals. Wow, that's a good player. Sam Kennedy's up here. Let's go, Sam. He's on pace for 100 points. Craziness. He's playing first-line time now. He has 23 points, so he's still a bit more of a 23 goals. Sorry, he's still more of a playmaking sniper, but still, that's a great season for Sam Kennedy. At least it's on pace for a great season. Okay, kind of interesting. What about goal scoring wise? Connor Bedard is leading it, but then Pete Lombardi is here. Henrik Hedstrom from the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's a power forward. Okay. Lionel Marsh, Sergei Tulipov, the Arizona Coyotes' second overall pick a couple of years ago. It's about like 7 or 8 years ago now. Jaden Allman, of course, is up here. Do we have Elliot Patrick, not quite up there for that. Who has the most penalty minutes in the league? Just Maurice Bruhl. He's a two-way forward. Wow, not even a power forward, not even an enforcer. All right, let's take a peek at defensemen around the league, and it's Malachi Cohen, the 88 overall offensive defenseman, leading things off. Then it's Corbin Mills. Wow. Okay, so we have the offensive defenseman. They're a cheat code, though, so, you know, that's a bit tough. But then Corbin Mills at number 2 in points, plus 13. Malachi Cohen is a plus 29 halfway through the season. That's terrifying stuff. Jordan Spence, Brant Clark, and then Will Hoffman and Aiden Stempniak, they are like third. So we have an insane big three for defensemen. An insane big three. Luke Hughes is here. Aaron Kiviharju is here. Oleg Kozlov. Liam Carlson, who was kind of fallen by the wayside compared to our defensemen that we've picked up. So, you know, after what, 10 or no, not 10, but after 8 seasons in the league, I think I can safely say I definitely like Corbin Mills over Liam Carlson. Sorry. Sam Dickinson is here. Quinn Hughes at 37 years old still has 27 points in 41 games. Dude, these guys are crazy, man. These guys are so crazy. Okay, look at goalies. We're definitely not going to be up here. Scott Carter is here. Sebastian Kosa. Keith Konolichuk of the Leafs. Nice. Harold Simon. Gabriel Dagla. Of course, Gabriel Dagla's up here. Kari Sepinen. Don't know about him. Lucas Dostal. Who is this guy? 84 overall. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you're a good goalie. Hugo Allenfelt. Mats Lundqvist, of course. Mikael Helmerson. Reed Don. Okay. I mean, there's no crazy save percentages. If we go sort by all, no, not 40 games played. What am I doing? We've only played 30, 20 games played. Sort by save percentage. Look at this. He's ran away with the title, man. Keith Konolichuk, 922 save percentage, 2.49 goals against average. Monstrous. He is actually living up to the $11.275 million contract, which I never, if I threw my entire life savings on something, it would not be on the fact that any goalie in the league has a 922 save percentage and 2.5 goals against average halfway through the season. That's insane numbers. And if you're paying a goalie $11.275 mil, you need them to play like this in EA world. In the real world, you probably need them to play a little better. But in the EA world, you will accept this for sure if you're paying a goalie 11 mil. That's crazy. Let's take a look at the rookie skaters now, and we will see it is the first overall pick, Corey Sofilis of the Chicago Blackhawks. He has 25 goals and 6 assists. So I don't know if he's playing with Bedard. I don't think he is. He's only playing 18 minutes a night, so probably he's not. but somebody needs to teach him how to pass that puck. Jorgen Eklund, Desmond Krog, Timo Pentakainen. Okay, another sniper it looks like. Yeah, another sniper. When was he drafted? 7th overall. Okay, fair enough. Two or 3 years ago. Carol Handzus on Ottawa. He was drafted in the 2nd round by Calgary. Wow, like 5 years ago. He's still listed as a rookie at 23 years old, giving me Kirill Kaprizov vibes. I'm not still bitter about that as a Sens fan. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay, it's a pretty strong rookie class actually. Pretty strong rookie class. Looking at rookie goalies, Canzanello, Stanley Canzanello, we love him in Detroit. Not really doing that great, unfortunately. But why does his position goalie? Like, are you telling me you can ride the bench? Because we know that, brother. But yeah, Canzanello, okay numbers, but not that great. Not that great at all. Okay, that's what the league looks like. That's what we look like around the league. The leading scorers, the leading goal scorers, point scorers, things like that. Toronto looks kind of scary. They have a couple of guys, they have Malachi Cohen up there for defense, and then their goalie looks incredible. So maybe they just built out a super strong decor, which would be kind of scary. Now, Anaheim is 26-11-4. They're an amazing team, and they are selling the farm. Makes sense to me. Arizona, nothing. Boston, nothing. Buffalo, nothing. Calgary, okay. This guy, Liam Greentree, two-way forward. Hang on, could you be a third liner for me? You are playing third line time, it seems, in Calgary. Okay, could you be a third liner? You kind of have a lot of trade value, but we'd be trading you Brendan Meach, so trade value is not really a big problem. You know who else could really help out a third line? Is a guy like Jason Robertson. We'll take a look at him when we get over there. But Liam Greentree, pretty interesting. Also, Fraser Minton could be here. What are you doing for them, Fraser? You're a -4, not as appealing. And Calgary's a good team as well, so we don't know if they really want to trade you guys. Carolina, nothing. Chicago, they're one of the worst teams in the league, and of course, maybe not one of the worst, but they're like down there in like the 20s, and they don't want to trade anybody, so that makes total sense. Let's take a look at their forwards, huh? What do they have here? Oh my God, Connor Bedard's not even the most paid player on their team, which is wild. What do they've got? They don't have too much, do they? Who's this guy? Dundas, Sean Dundas. Nah, I don't like those stats at all. Tarasov, what are you looking like? Marcus Tarasov, you're a 0 on a really bad team, but you're a sniper, so that's not exactly what I'm looking for. All right, Chicago's not that appealing to me. What about Colorado? Are you a good team? You're an okay team. Columbus is a pretty decent team. Let's take a look at their block, of course. Scariest match in the block, they've got nothing. Dallas now. Okay, Dallas is a bad team. No, they're not even a bad team, but they're not in the playoff spot, are they? Wait, did I just... Hang on. Was I being a fool when I said that? They're not in a playoff spot, are they? Are they in a playoff spot? They're an okay team. 20-21. They're just outside a playoff spot. They're 3 points behind in the wild card, and they're 2 points behind in that wild card with a couple of games in hand. So they could make it for sure. They're fighting with the Avs. They're fighting with the Wild. They're fighting with the Kraken and the Sharks. But they're not in a playoff spot right now, so we can definitely take a look at their team. See, maybe they decide to pull the trigger and tank a little bit. So would they be willing to give up Jason Robertson? That's the big question, right? Joel Shepherd, Timo Natinen, Afanasenkov, and then Jason Robertson. Have they extended him? They have not extended him. So an 88 overall, he's the lowest trade value out of the top couple of guys. How is he performing this year? He has 37 points in 41 games, likely playing first line time. Let me take a look at their lines. So yes, Jason Robertson is playing first line time. Now, what does that mean for these other guys? It means Natinen is not playing his normal side. He's playing the right, but he does have 45 points. Wild. Logan Stankoven doing his thing. Jason Robertson definitely playing well for them. Now, Ilya Afanasenkov, oh my God, this guy has, what does he have? 45 points in 41 games playing second line. So imagine him playing first line. Jason Robertson slots down to the second line. Ashton Lynn doing Luke Misa. My God, dude. Cooper Murray. What is Cooper Murray? He's a playmaker. Oh man, I don't see. It's just their bottom six is the problem, right? Their bottom six, just like us, their bottom six is the problem. We could go back with Phil Inglis if we wanted to. Bring him back. But Jason Robertson, so what would their lines be if they didn't have Robertson? They would have Afanasenkov on the top line. They would then have Cooper Murray here. Jason Robertson would be replaced with Afanasenkov and Murray. Phil Inglis, I guess, would go up to their top, go into their top, three. No, actually, it would be, who would we send them? We would send them Brennan Meach, probably. Brennan Meach would probably play third line time for them. So it would be, their left would look like Afanasenkov on the first line, Murray on the second line, Brennan Meach on the third line, and then Phil Inglis on the fourth line, and their middle and their right side would all be the same. That's not bad. Would they be willing to do it? I'm not sure. They're not in a playoff position. Robertson fits the playoff or power play lines and the penalty kill lines. He's got a ton of X factors. He would be playing third line time with us, though. Let's bear that in mind. What does their goalie situation look like? Could they push for... I mean, Novoseltsev is not exactly amazing. 894 save percentage. Like, they're not poised for a deep run, in my opinion. Look at their defense. They have no defense. I mean, man, it's a tough call. Do you think they would be willing to give up on Jason Robertson? And they're not even really giving up on him, but do you think they'd be willing to start selling pieces off? We'd probably give them... What would we give them? Let's take a look at the values now that we know what their team looks like. So maybe it would be something like this, right? We give them Brennan Meach. We give them a first-round pick for Jason Robertson. I'm not sure if this would go through, but it would be dang close. It's a one-year thing. We're giving up on Brennan Meach, unfortunately, but he's 21. He's got low elite potential. He could still grow, but he's just not playing well, man. He's on the third line. He's getting time. He's getting power play time as well. He has 6 power play points. So he's got 25 points in 41 games. It's a 50-point season. It would be the best of his career, but it would basically be the same thing as what he did in his first season with us, you know? When he was playing a bit more time, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know if the Brennan Meach experiment is working, man. We gave him second line time in his first season. He has pretty base stats everywhere. He's not a bad player by any means, but I don't know if we can pass up getting a guy like Jason Robertson on the team. The story makes sense. He's an older guy. He's chasing a cup. He's never won a cup, has he? I don't think so. We've beaten him basically every year in the playoffs. Yeah, he's never even really gotten that close in 2023, but that was obviously the real world. That was the real world for sure. And then after that, not until 2026. So he's been in the playoffs quite a bit, but he's never really gotten close to that Stanley Cup. Hopefully with us, maybe we could change that. Also, Dallas would be able to play their left side a little bit more minutes, right? So Natanen's playing first line time, but Afanasenkov can get first line time. Murray can get second line time instead of third line time. So it helps all these guys get a bit more points. Murray is struggling mightily on the third line as well, so maybe some second line time could be a bit better for him. He's playing with better players, so maybe that helps his overall just a little bit. Yeah, and they could sign Murray to a really long extension right now because he's playing bad, so he's probably not asking for that much. I mean, I'm sure it's still like 9 million, but he's playing pretty horribly, so he shouldn't be asking for more than 10 mil in my opinion. And then these two guys can play first line time with each other, and basically Afanasenkov just kind of switches out the role for Jason Robertson, and that's actually pretty good because he has more points, he's got more goals, more assists than Robertson right now, so the passing of the torch, similar to what we had to do with Mark Scheifele going to Cole Perfetti, and then Cole Perfetti going to William Eklund, and then William Eklund going to Pete Lombardi, right? Very similar situation to that, except they're going from Jason Robertson now to Afanasenkov and Natanен. So I think we've got the makings of a trade here at the very least. Maybe we can send them another prospect to make it a bit more fair, but it's something for sure that we can consider. Dallas is not a playoff team. Robertson has never been close to the cup. He's 37. He's on the last year of his deal, and he's going to start declining here pretty soon. So it would kind of make sense for Dallas to get rid of him. Of course, he is a Dallas Stars legend, though. So, anybody who's got some reservations can make their reservations known in the comments down below. Taking a look at the rest of the league, Detroit with nothing. Edmonton, they've got a couple of defensemen over here. Our defense has been okay. Maybe a third pairing defender could be nice. Florida, nothing. LA, not really that interested. Francisco Pinelli is kind of interesting maybe for the third line. He's playing kind of second line time for them. But he has good size. He's a great skater, so penalty kill opportunities maybe. Look at that deking, 99 deking. Love to see it. He fits our first line and all our power play, so he could play some power play time. I don't know what line he's playing on, man. It could be third line, I guess, with some special teams. Dawson Mercer is here. Minnesota, not with anything. Montreal, nothing too interesting in my opinion. Nashville, Jussi Välimäki. The Devils, nothing. The Islanders, nothing. The Rangers, literally nothing. The Sens, only prospects. Philadelphia with Lindstein, that's a crazy contract. Not even going to look at it. Riker Evans, insane contract. Pittsburgh, they've got some prospects out here. San Jose, let's take a look at San Jose. Look at their centers. Let's see what the value is like. Jordan Gavin, how are you playing this year, my friend? 14 goals, 23 assists. This is what I'm talking about. 47 points is kind of, or sorry, wait. No, it's 37 points, right? 37 points in 44 games? Yeah, it's not bad, of course. It's not bad by any means. He's below point per game by 7 points. But he's a -6. He's playing their first line. Like, they should have an insane first line, you know? Look at all their 90 overalls they have. Jordan Gavin, Ryan Rubrick, and then throw one of these other centers on their right side. You know, throw Jermaine Mackey on their right hand side. Let me look at what their lines look like, because I don't know why Jordan Gavin and these guys are minus players. Doesn't make sense. So in San Jose, this top six looks crazy, man. Ryan Rubrick, Jordan Gavin, Cam Arson. Cam Arson's he's not really maybe he needs a goal scorer on his wing. That's why Gavin's not playing too well. But I think we make a big move, but I don't know if it's for Gavin. I just don't love the way he's simulating. I know he's playing with worse players who'd be playing with a guy like, you know, maybe Elliot Patrick on his wing, maybe Dean Matheson on his wing, somebody like that who can really score. So that would be good for him, but man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm willing to give up what Matt Svensson's doing with us. More points, worse overall, better contract for an unknown entity in Jordan Gavin. Matt Svensson is having a resurgence of a career with 49 points, right, in 41 games, whereas Jordan Gavin, in 44 more games played, has 11 less points. 12 less points, right? Yeah, it's 12 less points. So I don't know if I'm willing to give that up, to give up Matt Svensson for Jordan Gavin. Matt Svensson's also playing less time. Oh, it's a tough call because Gavin, obviously, you got to think he's the better player and that he'll simulate better with us than other people. But sometimes the overall doesn't mean anything. Sometimes people just simulate better than others. And I don't know what it is, but they've got some unknown slider about how good somebody is despite their overall. Like, look at Elliot Patrick, who was dropped 3 overall, and he's playing better than he ever has in his career. I don't think we go for Jordan Gavin, boys. I do not think we go for Jordan Gavin. But I would be willing to hear out some thoughts, some criticisms, of course. As always, my ears are always open. Now let's take a look at Seattle. See, they're an okay team. They're fighting for a wild card spot, and they're not looking to trade anybody. St. Louis, same type of deal with them. Is this Radko Gudas still at an 82 overall? No. Why did I think that was an R? It's a B. Bedrick Rack. What am I on, bro? Oh my gosh, I've been recording for too long looking at this screen. Tampa Bay with nothing. Oh, we gotta go look at our old friends, of course. Toronto, Vancouver, Vegas, Washington with Quinton Byfield and Wade Stanton, former Winnipeg Jet. Wade Stanton, nice, 37 points in 42 games. He's playing first line time. Crazy, man. Love Wade Stanton. Love seeing him do well. And then Clark Caswell's on an $11 million deal, and he's got 31 points in 42 games, and he's a -5. That is crazy. Okay, let's take a look at some friends, and then we'll cut it off. I think what we might need a goalie, a backup goalie or something. So maybe I should show you guys that, huh? Let's take a look at goalies really fast. I'm just going to fly through them. I don't think really there's that much. I went to the wrong team. Oh my gosh, bro. I am getting not in the right headspace to record this, it feels like. Okay, let's look at goalies really quickly. What do we need from a goalie? We need a team that has multiple goalies, so that's going to be tough to find. And we also need, somebody who simulates well. So maybe a team like Buffalo here. Samson, bad stats. Devin Levi, potential pickup in Devin Levi there. Calgary, no. Carolina, maybe do we go back with Thomas Lander? He's having a pretty decent season. So is I like how Carolina basically just has our tandem from last year. It's kind of funny. And of course, Askarov, as soon as he leaves our team, he's 12-14-4, bad record, but look at these numbers. .909 save percentage, 3.19 goals against average. Actually, I think he had a better season with us, but, it wasn't the regular season we were worried about. It was the fact that in the playoffs he gave me 4 goals against average that I was mad about, so that's why he left. Chicago here, no, not looking for that. To Colorado, maybe we go with Ross Tan, but he's a medium starter, young goalie, so they probably don't want to trade him. Next up, Columbus. No, they're medium elite goalies. Okay. How are they doing, by the way? Because we did free up some room for them to play. Nice. Reed Donald's playing pretty okay. Vitaly Grigorenko, a little rough, but our goalies have worse numbers, so it is what it is over there. Detroit, no. Edmonton, no. Florida, Spencer Knight, if we want an older guy, but he's not having a good year, so let's walk away from that. Over here, two young goalies. Minnesota, no. Montreal, okay, Montreal, one of these guys, perhaps. Who's played more games? You've played more games, and you have good numbers. Mac Guzdas played less games. You have pretty okay numbers too, though. So both of these goalies have been playing well. So Montreal definitely could be a place. And look, they still have an 80 overall goalie waiting in the wing. So Montreal definitely makes sense trade-wise. And they want to trade Guzdas. So maybe Guzdas is a guy we could look at for sure. Okay, interesting. Let's go to Nashville now. Nashville, not good enough. The Devils, they have three goalies here, do the New Jersey Devils. Gavin Spooner has amazing numbers. Nicholas Trotter has great numbers. And Ilya Grigorenko is playing in the AHL. But he's a young guy, so maybe we free up some space for them. Although these guys are on long-term deals, so I don't love that. Islanders here. Again, Islanders got a couple of goalies here. So Mikhail Helmerson, you're playing pretty okay. Christian Kirsch is playing great. That could be a great backup goalie. And Nikita Guab playing rough in the AHL. But Kirsch is looking pretty good, man. He's got great numbers. The Rangers, they have a lot of goalies here as well. And some older guys, some younger guys. Kevin Rieger, bad numbers. Dustin Wolf, pretty good numbers. Torsten Gunderson is playing well in the AHL. Do we want to bring back Torsten Gunderson? I don't think so. Ottawa, no thanks. Philadelphia, nope. Pittsburgh, no. San Jose, no. Seattle, no. St. Louis. Jesper Blomqvist is on the block. 919 save percentage. Please don't tell me, please, it's 1 year? No, it's 3 years. That's tough. And then Harold Simon is doing his thing as well, over a 900 save percentage. He's playing better than what our goalies are giving us. So that's good. Like that we helped them out. Then over in Tampa, they've got Nicholas Dahl playing great and Cale Ekman playing well as well. So both their goalies playing good. Toronto, of course, we know about Knolachuk is the Vezina winner. I can already say it right now with pretty much no concern. Scott Ratzliff is doing, or Ratzliff? Scott Ratzliff is doing well. So is Scott Carter. They've got two Scotts in the net. Nice. That's kind of funny. Vegas, we could go for one of these guys. We do not want Vadim Drenko. Do not touch him with a 10-foot pole. And then Washington, no. So there's a couple of options there. I don't know. Well, I'd have to go through it a little bit more, but there's definitely some options if we want to swap a backup goalie or anything like that. All right, looking at the Arizona Coyotes, we see Howard Quenneville has 39 points in 40 games on his 1-year deal, $5 million. Don't know if they've extended him past that. Same thing with William Eklund with 39 in 40. So these two guys are trying. They're probably playing fourth line together. Yes, they are playing fourth line together. So they are desperately trying to break through. They are both point per game. So, I mean, they're both playing well. It's just the plus-minus is not there whatsoever. Looking at Buffalo here, Melvin Barker, it seems like he's fallen. His potential has dropped. Or no, not, sorry. It seems like his production has dropped a little bit here. But he still has 19 goals, 18 assists, 37 points. Is still pretty good in 43 games. It's just not the pace that he was doing before. What has he had in the past? He's had 89, 82, and these past two seasons with Buffalo. So 37 points, a bit of a disappointment, especially when he's only 29. But the guys around him are not as good. Dylan Cousins instead of Zach Ben, or sorry, it was Dylan Cousins and Zach Benson. Now Zach Benson is no longer with this team, so it's going to hurt Melvin Barker's production a little bit. But he's still playing very well. What about their defense? We've got a couple of boys back here. Brody DeMarchi plus 20. Love to see it from Brody DeMarchi, and then Gale Crabbe plus 17. Are these two guys playing together? I think they might be, actually. They both have 19 minutes. Yeah, these guys could definitely be playing on the same line together, which would be pretty funny. Liam Carlson has 25 minutes. What about Kozev? Who's playing first line time with Liam Carlson? Who is it? Oh, it's this guy down here for some reason. Adam Juracek, because he's a right-handed guy, huh? Okay, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know if I would necessarily do the same thing as them, but hey, to each their own, I suppose. Did we give them a goalie as well? No, we didn't. Okay. Cool stuff. Let's go to the next team. We obviously see our former tandem here in Carolina. Take a look at their numbers. They're both doing better than our current tandems, and that seems to always be the way. When you trade away goalies, they always play a little bit better than they did with you, which is unfortunate. Dylan Baker is also here in Carolina. If we want to take a look at him, he's an 84 overall, 30 goals in 39 games. Or sorry, oh my gosh, that would be insane. 30 points in 39 games. pretty good from Dylan Baker, somebody who we didn't even know if was going to make the NHL with us. So nice to see him thriving. Over here in New Jersey, Rocky Bomek is above a point per game, 43 points in 41 games. Unfortunately, he has dropped to an 81 overall for no particular reason, even though he is on pace for another career high season in points. He does have 51 penalty minutes though, but we'll skip out on that because 9 goals, 34 assists. This guy's hands, he just has great hands, man. And he knows how to find the boys around him. The guys like Alex DeBrincat with 25 points. And Alex DeBrincat's on pace for 50 goals. And he's 39 years old. Crazy, man. Crazy stuff. Love it, Rocky. Keep doing your thing. Oh, and finally, the mighty have dropped off ever so slightly. Cole Perfetti down to an 84 overall now. And now he's deciding to get a little bit selfish. I'm going to shoot that puck a little more here. He's shooting 18%. Crazy. 16 goals, 9 assists for 25 points in a -5 in 41 games. It's not what he was before, for sure. It's not what he was before, but the Pittsburgh Penguins, I think they're in a playoff position, and I think mostly it's because of their goaltending. But let's also take a look at their defensemen because they do have Teuvo Karlahti. The Targaryen is back here on the blue line, and he's one of their only plus players. So that is something that we love to see as a supporter of Teuvo. Of course, we love him. Oh, and they've also got Jet Greaves back here. 901 save percentage, 3.37 goals against average. Former Winnipeg Jet doing his thing. And this is the one that I'm very happy about. Sam Kennedy. I always want to see my former Jets succeed, and he's got 50 points in 41 games. This would be by far a career year. After 90 with us, he fell to a 70-point guy, a good second liner, but he wasn't living up to that 90 overall potential until this year. He's got 50 in 41. They have finally played Sam Kennedy and Samu Pessinen together. I think, yeah, both playing first line time. Yes, they are. So that is lovely stuff, and now Sam Kennedy is producing at a rate that he should have been pretty much all year round. Lastly, the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think, well, first of all, they do have Wyatt Johnston on this team, also former Winnipeg Jet, of course. Didn't we send Nico Tukio over here? Hang on, boys, I am completely blanking. We sent Nico Tukio somewhere. I know we did, but where did we send him? I don't remember where we sent Nico Tukio, so let me just go through all this and find him. So Nico Tukio is in Detroit. He only has 13 points in 29 games played. He's a -10 as well. Yikes, still not shooting that puck at all. 1 goal, 12 assists. It's not great. He's playing third line time, it looks like. Maybe he got injured for a bit of the season because he's only played 29 games. So that's not ideal for him at all. Detroit, how does the rest of their team look? Looking at forwards by points here, Alex Ranford obviously doing everything he can, dragging this team. Dalibor Dvorsky is here, of course, the Stanley Cup winners last year. So I'm happy to see that they're not doing that well. Nico Tukio is in the top, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's in the top 10 point scorers on their team. And he's only played 29 games, so let's keep that in mind, boys. Let's keep that in mind. He's been injured, and he's in their top 10 in points. If you could play this guy with a guy like Alex Ranford or a guy like, I don't know, Dalibor Dvorsky, really send him up the line and just have him just pass the puck. Just pass it only to them. Don't take any shots. He only has 28 shots in 29 games, so he shoots less than a shot per game. So just send him with a bunch of snipers. Maybe he could do something. I'm not entirely sure. But that's what the league looks like. We saw the trade blocks and all that stuff. So let me know. Do we go after Jason Robertson in the next one, or do we hold off a little bit and try to get a win with this team? We are playing great. I'm very surprised by guys like Solomon Pyatt, by Pete Lombardi is having an amazing season. So is Elliot Patrick. So is Matt Svensson is back. He has returned, the prodigal son. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a like, a comment, and subscribe. But you know what to do because you've been on YouTube for long enough. I can't talk after talking for 2 hours and a bit. So I hope this one is down to I don't know. I hope I got it down to about an hour or so. But this has been a long one. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.